Good morning, dear students. Please respond. Are you visible my screen? Please respond. Now the today topic is vibrations. This is last chapter. So what is mean by vibration? So simply to say that, so when the body tends to may move to and fro motion, so that is known as simply to say that it is known as the vibrations. So here let us take the small examples. That is the when we take the elastic bodies such as the spring or beam or shaft also. So when those are displaced from the equilibrium position, by the application of external forces and then released, they may get the vibratory motion. So that is known as our vibrations. So here before going to know the classification of vibration, so let us discuss the some terms generally used in our vibrations. So those are the first term, time period. So that is it is the time interval after which the motion is repeated itself. It is the time interval after which the motion is repeated itself. So then the period of vibration is usually expressed already known. This is the seconds. Okay. So that is the time period. And the second one is cycle. So it is the motion completed during one time period. Okay, it is known as the cycle. And last one is frequency. So it is the number of cycles described in 1 second. Number of cycles, okay, done in our 1 second, it is known as the frequency. So these three terms generally used in our vibrations. Now going to know the types of vibratory motions. So those are the three types of motions are there. So those are the free vibrations, forced vibrations, and damped vibrations. So free vibrations point of view, when we are not when we are not applying the any external force acts on the body, so then after giving it's the initial displacement, so then the body is said to have vibrations. So that vibrations is calling as natural vibration or free vibration without application of the external forces. So then the body is done the some vibration, so that vibrations is calling as the free vibrations. So and second one, forced vibration, when the body vibrates under the influence of external force, under the influencing of the external force, so then the body is said to be forced vibrations. So that is known as the forced vibration. And last one, what is damped vibrations? So damped vibration point of view, so when there is a reduction of amplitude over every cycle of the vibration, so always tries to reducing their amplitude value, so that type of vibration is calling as the damped vibration. So these are the three types of vibratory motions are there. Okay. And now types of vibrations. So those are the vibratory motions, and now we are going to discuss the types of vibrations. So these are the three, again this is also classified three types. Those are the longitudinal vibrations and transverse vibrations, and third one torsional vibration. So three types of vibrations are there: longitudinal, transverse, and torsional. So just you are just you will see the screen. Just you have to observe the screen. So that is the our figure A. Three figures are there. First figure will representing the longitudinal vibrations. So that means when the body tends to may move, okay, towards the axis of the shaft, towards the axis of the shaft. So that type of vibration is calling as the our longitudinal vibration. And transverse vibration point of view, when the body moves, when the body moves towards, okay, moves are when the perpendicular to the axis of the shaft, okay, then that type of vibrations is calling as transverse vibrations. Then the body trying to move the towards perpendicular to the axis of the shaft, that is the transverse vibrations. And the third one, that is when the body moves in a circular motion, okay, it is trying to okay, rotate or twisting of their okay, twisting of the our body. So that type of circular motion, so that type of vibrations is calling as the torsional vibrations. These are the three types of vibrations are there. Now in this natural frequency of free longitudinal vibration. So for find out of the natural frequency of the our longitudinal vibration, free longitudinal vibrations. Okay, so these are the three methods are there for calculation of our natural frequency. Those are the equilibrium method and energy method and Rayleigh's method. Three methods are there: equilibrium method, energy method, and Rayleigh's method. So now we are going to calculate the natural frequency of longitudinal vibration, natural frequency of the free longitudinal vibration by solving of the equilibrium method. So equilibrium method will represent here. So let us take the consider a constraint of the negligible mass of the spring is there, okay, in an unstrained position. Just all of you observe the diagrams. So figure A represents the unstrained position, and figure B is also there when the spring carries the some weight. And the third one, after the okay, after okay, the third one will represents uh, the third one will represents that after the carrying of the our weight, so it may gets the some position. So that position will represent it here. Okay, three positions are there. So now we are going to derive the our derivation part. So before going to start the derivation part, so let us know the notations. So those are, let S is there, the small s represents the stiffness, and small m mass of the and capital W weight of the body. So in the equilibrium position, so that means second figure, the figure B will represent the equilibrium position. Then their gravitational pull W equals to, what is the value of W? So that is also similarly to write mg. Okay, and that mg is balanced by the force of spring force, that is balanced with the spring force. So that equals to W equals to, again it may also written here, so that is the S delta, that is also S delta. So in this the mass is now displaced from its equilibrium position by the distance x. So now if you are observing the figure C, so now we have to write the our restoring force after time t seconds, after time t seconds. So that is the how many forces are acting in our diagram C, figure C. So that is, just observe that. So W is there, and our okay, and our stiffness spring force is there. So those are the our values are there. So just observe that. So W minus S into delta plus X. So delta will represent the static deflection and small x represents the our okay displacement when carrying the some weight. Okay, when carrying the spring some weight. So then W minus, it may also written that, may also written as W minus S delta minus Sx. So W already written, it may also written as S delta. So S delta minus S delta minus Sx. So when similar terms are there, S delta, S delta. So okay, those two are okay. Those two are subtracting here. So those two are eliminated, and the remaining term is minus Sx. So that is the restoring force. That is our restoring force. Okay, just it is okay. Let us take the equation number 1. Let us take the equation number 1. Our restoring force value is the minus Sx. Now going to write the accelerating force. Now going to write the accelerating force of the our body. So accelerating force means simply to say that ma. So ma, acceleration and mass into acceleration. So m into a means it is also written that d square x by dt square. Okay, it may written as d square x by dt square. Acceleration is also represented with that formula. So it is also considered as the equation number 2. Now equating the equation 1 and 2. So then the equation, okay, so m into d square x by dt square equals to minus sx. Why? Because so before that before we represented that is the minus sx restoring force, and now recently to get the force, so that is the our accelerating force, m into d square x by dt square, both are equating here, so equals to minus sx. So then the equation will come m into d square x by dt square plus sx equals to 0. Then the equation is also written as d square x by dt square plus s by m into x equals to 0. Let us take the equation number 3. The equation is considered as the equation number 3. So here this equation is comparing with the fundamental equation of SHM. So that is the d square x by dt square plus omega square x equals to 0. So when we comparing with the this fundamental equation of SHM, so then the omega value is simply to write here omega equals to square root of s by m. Omega equals to square root of s by m. So when we know the omega value and simply to write the our time period, so time period Tp equals to 2 pi by omega. So 2 pi, that equals to 2 pi into square root of m by s. Square root of m by s. So now when we know the time period value and simply to write the natural frequency. So frequency f equals to 1 by Tp, 1 by time period. So that means that equals to 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m. So the value is, okay, the value is written as, so 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m. So and similarly to write here, S by M is replacing with the G by delta. Why? Because in our, okay, in our equation part, so mg equals to S delta. Already have written in our equation number 1. Mg equals to S delta. So from that, S by M equals to how much? G by delta. So they may also written as 1 by 2 pi into square root of G by delta. Again, it may also written as, so when we make the calculation of the, okay, or portion, so then the value will come Fn equals to 0.4985 by root delta. 0.4985 by root delta. So that is the our natural frequency of free longitudinal vibration. Okay, in this the unknown is only delta. Delta means static deflection. So what type of beam is there? Okay, what type of beam is there? So from that you may also substitute the delta value. Okay, is it cantilever? Is it simply supported, or is it a fixed beam? So what type of beam is there? From that you have to take the static deflection value. So that is the let us take here in our okay case in our node. So that is the simple formula. Let us take the starting formula, okay, that is the WL by EA. So that is the WL by E, static reflection, for find out of the small delta. Okay, small delta equals to WL by EA. So when we know the our static deflection value, that value is substituted directly to the our frequency. So that is the 0.4985 by root delta. Okay, so this is the our natural frequency of free longitudinal vibration. Okay, and similarly, to find out the our natural frequency by another method, that is the energy method is there. Okay, three methods are there for solving of the natural frequency for longitudinal vibration. So that is the second method. Coming to the second method, so in our second method, they may set the one statement, that is the summation of the kinetic energy and potential energy must be constant. Okay, they may set the one statement, that is the sum of the our kinetic energy and potential energy must be constant. So when they said the particular statement, okay, by their statement, you have to prove the, okay, you have to find the our natural frequency value. So energy method. So all of you observe that. So when the summation of kinetic energy and potential energy equals to constant, so when we are differentiating of the kinetic energy plus potential energy, that must, okay, that must be going to be 0. So d by dt of Ke plus Pe equals to 0. And now first you have to write the kinetic energy value. So kinetic energy means, what is the formula is there? So half into mv square. So then half into m is there, and v place is substituted to the dx by dt. That means displacement with respect to t. So then the value is kinetic energy. And now going to write the our potential energy. Potential energy point of view here. So they may also take the average of the our, okay, average of the our energy values. So that is the our initial energy value is the 0, and finally to get the restoring force value is the Sx by. So that is the Sx 0 plus Sx by 2 into Ax. Okay, force into distance, potential energy, mgh formula is there. Okay, so in that our x h is the our x here, that is the displacement, will represents the our displacement, and mg values initially 0, and later it may also gets when it will carries the, okay, when it will carries the some weight, that weight, okay, by the weight they may get the restoring force, that is the our Sx. So 0 plus Sx by 2 into x. So it is also equals to half into Sx square. Half into Sx square. So kinetic energy is there and potential energy there. Both are substituted in our, okay, equation. So then d by dt of 1 by 2 into m into dx by dt whole square plus 1 by 2 into Sx square equals to 0. So when we differentiating the particular term, our equation, so then the values are 1 by 2 into m into, this is seems to be x. Okay, this total term is seems to be x. So x square means 2x. Okay, x square means 2x. So 2 into dx by dt and d square x by dt square. Okay, why? Because it is not a x. So the term is there. So again, it may also have the differentiation. Okay, d square x by dt square plus half into s into 2x into dx by dt. 2x into dx by dt. Why? Because the term is not differentiating with the x. So that's why here dx by dt is, okay, repeated here. Dx by dt. So now simplifying the equation, so those values, okay, so what are the common terms are there, those values are taken out to the right side. Okay, then the remaining term is m into d square x by dt square plus sx equals to 0. So then it may also written as d square x by dt square plus s by m into x equals to 0. It is taken as the equation. Okay, equation number 1. So then it seems to be our fundamental equation of SHM, that is the d square x by dt square plus omega square x equals to 0. Okay, it is also seems to be our fundamental equation of SHM. So then again we have to write the value of Fn. So that is the omega value will come square root of s by m, and similarly to write Fn equals to 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m. Okay, similarly to find the same value, so natural frequency of longitudinal vibration, that value is the 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m, or 0.4985 by root delta. That is the second method, energy method. Energy method have to solve the our natural frequency. Now coming to the our third method is also there, Rayleigh's method. The third method. Now going to discuss the third method, Rayleigh's method. So in this they may set the one statement. That statement represents here, that is the maximum kinetic energy at the mean position is equals to the maximum potential energy at the extreme position. Okay, so that is the statement here. So now that we have to solve the our natural frequency for longitudinal vibration. So in this, let us assume that, assuming the motion, okay, assuming the motion that is taken as the our simple harmonic motion. So what type of motion is there? That motion is considered as the simple harmonic motion. So when we assume the simple harmonic motion, so then they may write the our x coordinate, x value, so that small x equals to capital X sin omega t. Okay, the motion assumed to that is the simple harmonic, then their x coordinate, okay, x value, x equals to x term, okay, the variable x equals to small x equals to capital X sin omega t. In this, the small x represents the displacement of the body, and capital X represents the maximum displacement. Okay, maximum displacement. So small x represents the displacement of the body, and capital X maximum displacement. So what is the equation you have written? So that is taken as the our equation number 1. Now differentiating the equation number 1. So when we differentiating the equation number 1, dx by dt equals to omega x into cos omega t. Omega x into cos omega t. So that means here, since at the mean position, so for getting the mean position t equals to 0, therefore maximum velocity at the mean position v equals to dx by dt, that equals to omega x. Why? Because t value is considered as the 0. T value is considered as the 0. When we consider the t value 0 in our equation, so then the velocity will come, okay, maximum velocity is attained, okay, is achieved to the omega x. Maximum velocity is achieved to the omega x. Now going to write the maximum kinetic energy at the mean position. So kinetic energy formula is there, that is the half into mv square. So already know the our velocity value, so that value substituted in our equation. So that is the half into m into omega square x square. Okay, and later we have to write the maximum potential energy at the extreme position. At the extreme position. So maximum kinetic energy point of view, it is the our mg h. So simply to take the our initial average of the, okay, average of the our forces energy values into our h value. So that is the our initially the force value is the 0 plus sx. Sx is the our after carrying the weight. Okay, Sx is there by 2. So that is the mean force. So mean force into displacement. So what is the value is there? That is the mean force into displacement. So that is the 0 plus Sx by 2 into capital X. Again, it may also come potential energy at the extreme position half into S x square. Half into S x square. Let us take the equation number 3. Now, equating the equation number 2 and 3. So then half into m omega square x square equals to half into s x square. So what are the terms are there? Okay, common terms. Those are eliminating here. Then the remaining term is omega square equals to s by m. Omega equals to square root of s by m. So when we know the omega value, then simply to write the time period. So time period represents the our 2 pi by omega. So 2 pi into square root of okay m by s. And similarly to write natural frequency, so that is the Fn equals to actually okay have one mistake is here, that is the time period 2 pi by omega. So when we write the okay 2 pi into square root of m by s, and later natural frequency Fn equals to 1 by 2 pi 1 by Tp. So that is the omega by 2 pi, or that equals to 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m, square root of s by m, or it may also written as 0.4985 by root delta. Okay. So these three ways are okay. The three ways are utilized for getting the our natural frequency. Okay, natural frequency for longitudinal vibration. Any queries regarding this topic? Next topic, that is the our natural frequency of free transverse vibrations. What you have done in earlier cases, that is the free longitudinal vibration. Now we have to determine the natural frequency of free transverse vibration. Again, let us consider okay neglect shaft. Let us consider the negligible mass of the shaft, whose one end is fixed and another end carries the some body or weight of the body. So capital W. Just observe that. So it is seems to be fixed beam. Just all of you observe that. Sorry, cantilever beam. It seems to be cantilever beam. So one end is fixed and another end carrying the some weight. So when it will carries the some weight, then static deflection values and their displacement values after the position of okay after the time of t. So they may represented in this. So Sx value and okay Sx is there and m into d square x by dt square accelerating force is there. and our displacement values. So now going to make the similar procedure. That is, the first you have to find out the restoring force. So restoring force, what is the restoring force is there? Just simply to get the value, that is the our minus Sx. So again, we may also get the restoring force at the, okay, in our transverse vibration in our cantilever beam. So that is also similar, minus Sx. Okay, restoring force minus Sx. So that the direction is going to towards up. Okay, so that's why they are indicating minus. So let us take the equation number 1. It is considered as the equation number 1. And later we have to write the our accelerating force value. So that is the m into d square x by dt square. That is considered as the equation number 2. Consider as the equation number 2. Now equating the 1 and 2. So that is the, when we equating the 1 and 2, m into d square x by dt square equals to minus sx. So then the equation, simplifying the equation, m into d square x by dt square plus sx equals to 0. And similarly to write d square x by dt square plus s by m into x equals to 0. And the equation what we have achieved, okay, so that equation seems to be our fundamental equation of SHM. So when we compare the fundamental equation of the SHM, so then the value okay, omega equals to square root of s by m, and time period equals to 2 pi into square root of m by s, and natural frequency, okay, natural frequency Fn equals to 1 by 2 pi into square root of s by m, or 1 by 2 pi into square root of g by delta. And in this, they may represented here, uh, that is the static deflection of cantilever beam. So what is the value is there? Static deflection, just we, okay, you have to remind the particular value, static deflection value for cantilever. That is the delta equals to WL cube by 3EI. WL cube by 3EI. It is always okay, related with the our deflection of beams chapter. It is always linked with the deflection of beams. Why? Because always to write the value of static deflection. So that is the our delta value. Delta equals to WL cube by 3EI. So for cantilever beam. Okay. And how we attain the our delta equals to WL cube by 3EI? Already you have done, okay, in our strength of materials.